Hello everyone. So I received a request from someone who asked if I could film myself doing decreases on this Irish moss stitch pattern for the cardigan that I was working on in a couple of previous videos. So I thought I would do that. I'm actually making another one for someone and I'm at the decrease portion of it. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. So that I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. So as I had said in a previous video, here is your moss stitch pattern right here. It's these 4 rows form the stitch. And they want you to decrease 1 stitch at the beginning of each row for the next 4 rows, basically, on this one. And if you do that, following this, you're going to have the weird ribbing. So on this first row, it says purl 1, knit 1. What we want to do is purl 2 together, then purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, all the way to the last 5 stitches where you will go ahead and purl 2, knit 3. So I've already started. I purled, oh, my needle fell out. There we go. So I purled the first 2 stitches together already, and I'm going to purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. So I'm going to pause the video here and then I will pick it up when I get closer to the end. Alright, so I'm almost down to my last 5. Knit 1. Almost there, got a couple more. Purl 1. And knit 1, purl 1. Let's go down here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so then we gotta go knit 1, and then on our last 5, I'm down to my last 5 stitches here. So the last 5, say purl 2. So 1, 2 purls, and then knit the last 3 stitches. So you go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's our first decrease row on that left front piece. Now on the second row, it says to slip 1 purlwise, purl 2, knit 2, and then you purl 1, knit 1 to the end of the row. So we're not going to do that exactly. For the decrease, we are going to purl 2 together, just like we did on the other one. So I'm going to stick my needle in here. This yarn is a little bit tricky. I'm using homespun. I really like this yarn, but sometimes you have to be careful with it. Okay, so we're going to purl these 2 together, like that. And then purl 1. I'm sorry, I misstated what I said earlier. Purl 1. And then knit 2. 1, 2, and then purl 1, knit 1 to the end. I'm sorry, I think I said it incorrectly the first time. I've got the pattern here in front of me, and then I have my handwritten instructions for the decreases, and I think I was looking at the pattern instead of my decrease. So then you're just going to purl 1, knit 1 all the way to the end of that row. So let me restate this one so that it's not confusing. So on the second row of the moss stitch for the decreases, the pattern says slip 1 purlwise, purl 2, knit 2. You want to purl 2 together, purl 1, knit 2, then purl 1, knit 1 all the way to the end. So if I missaid that incorrectly the first time, I apologize. I didn't mean to say it wrong. Like I said, I've got 2 patterns here in front of me, my modified directions and the actual pattern. Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I'll finish out this row and then we'll do the next one. Alright, I am back. I finished my second row of the decrease. Now the third row says to knit 1, purl 1 to the last 5 stitches, which is then you're supposed to do knit 1, purl 1, then knit 3. So we don't want to do that. We're decreasing. So for the decreases, we're going to purl 2 together, just like we did on the other 2. So I'm going to stick my needle into the first one and then the second stitch, and we're going to purl those 2 together, slip it off the needle, and then we're going to purl 1, knit 1, all the way to the end. Sorry if I'm getting off camera here with my... We're going to purl 1, knit 1 all the way to the end, and then the last 3 stitches we're going to purl them. So I will pause and come back. Okay, so I'm down to the last 3 stitches, and we want to purl them. And that will complete our third row in the pattern. Alright. Got this last stitch here. I accidentally... Yeah, there we go. Okay. And there. Alright, so now we're on our last row, and the pattern says to slip 1 purlwise, purl 2, then knit 1, purl 1 to the end of the row. So we are not going to do that. We are instead going to purl the first 2 stitches together like we did before. Like this. Purl 2 together, and we're going to slip that off. Then we are going to purl 1, knit 1 all the way to the end, and that's it. Alright, so I'm going to stop here because purling and knitting is pretty simple. So I hope that helps if anybody's struggling with what to do on this. This is just, of course, the left front piece. The moss stitch varies from section to section of this, but this just kind of gives you an idea. So once I finish my row and I get down here, I'll just go back and start this as it says. So that's the last decrease stitch. So go back up to row 1 and it'll just be purl 1, knit 1 like it says. And I can just keep continuing in pattern all the way until when it gets down here to and has other directions for shaping the armhole and all that. Anyway, I hope that helps. If there's any other questions, feel free to comment on the video or message me, whatever, and I'll do my best to respond. I'm kind of busy. I have 3 kids and I homeschool and we're involved in a lot of things, but I get to my messages when I can. So if I'm kind of slow getting back to you, just know that's the reason why. And thanks for watching.